Welcome everyone to Press Start. My name is Darcy and I hope you are all having a wonderful week. Today we are going to talk about Rocket Arena. No, not Rocket League, the soccer game with cars, but the 3 versus 3 shooter game centered around rockets. This is a game that was revealed at the EA Play event back in June and released on July 14th, and I had this to say about the game when it was announced. Now, I will say from what I saw of the game, I'm actually a little excited for Rocket Arena. It seems to be a lot of fun, and I hope that with it being the first game for Final Strike Games, that it is a success. Well, a success it was not. The game got some love by streamers during launch week, and I remember it having decent view numbers, but it quickly fell off. This then led to the game's price getting substantially dropped by about 80% before August even hit. This game is by far one of EA's biggest failures and likely the biggest failure of 2020. However, I got the game recently and it's actually a lot of fun. The games can be really intense and feel rewarding for wins. Landing a hit and comboing it with your abilities feels really satisfying, and there's a character for basically each playstyle that you may have. The matches also take roughly 10 minutes or less to play, so you can get a lot of games in during a long gaming session, or just a few if you only have 30 minutes to spare. Add to that crossplay, and the fan base should be huge for the game. But it's not. So how can they save it? Well, I have 5 moves EA and Final Strike Games should do to pump some life back into it. But before I do, if this is your first time to the channel or you're returning for another video, make sure you click the subscribe button to be notified of future videos. And if you like what I'm doing, give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below on your thoughts for the question of the video. All of this really helps me continue making new content for you guys and potentially expand on what I can offer. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Let's start with what happened. Well, if I can point to anything, for me, it would largely be the price when it came out. The Standard Edition retailed at $29.99, and the Mythic Edition was $10 more at $39.99. Now, that's not a terrible price to launch, but I think it still put up a big barrier for entry, as many saw this game as a free-to-play title. I also looked into it further, and apparently, the game was originally planned to be free-to-play. That changed once EA took over. Now this makes sense as the game features a battle pass and a store to buy cosmetics, something that you typically find in free-to-play titles. So now let's get into what 5 things I think should happen to save the game. Number 1, make the game free-to-play. Now this feels like a no-brainer because as I just said, the game originally was set to be free-to-play, but they haven't made that move just yet. Currently, the game costs only $5. So for the same price as some foot-long sandwiches at Subway, you can get this game. But some would rather fill their tummy up than go eat rockets to the face. That's why you can get a big player base boost by going free to play. This would give those people who considered trying the game a shot in the arm to just go ahead and do it. They would have nothing to lose, and with the player base increasing again, it could bring back those who dropped the game because of the low player count. Now, if EA doesn't want to make it completely free-to-play, which is understandable, they could also make a free-to-play version. Give maybe half or even 4 of the 11-character roster available to play in the free version. You can then give them the option to upgrade to the full roster for the $5. Basically, a try-it-before-you-buy-it move. And even if they don't buy it, you still help boost the player count, which is important. Number 2, bring back ranked mode and fast. What longevity will a competitive shooter have without a competitive game mode? None. It's that simple. Now, ranked was removed on September 4th to allow the developer time to improve the ranked experience, as they said matchmaking times were apparently abysmal. The team said they worked non-stop to improve it in the current format and had no luck. In the FAQ, it is said that they plan to re-implement ranked at some point during Season 2 or Season 3. For me, I feel that's too long and that needs to be done ASAP, like beginning of Season 2 or shortly after its launch. You want your hardcore fan base to turn their backs and run? Keep ranked away. You want them to continue striving to improve at the game? Bring it back. Number 3, add a surrender button. Now, this isn't a huge thing for bringing the player base back or giving it longevity, but I do feel it will generally help improve the overall experience. In my time of playing the game, I've had a lot of fun, but I will say I've had a few times now where my teammates either disconnect or leave or something happens, and it turns into either a 2v3 or even a 1v3, and I just have to sit there and endure the pain being inflicted on me until the match ends. I can't surrender to just get out and get into a new one. If this happens enough to anyone, they will quit. They will just say, screw this game, it's not worth wasting my time. So yes, add a surrender button, even if it only shows up when you have one or more people leave the team. It will help the overall experience and have people enjoying the game longer. Number 4, create appealing cosmetics. Now, Fortnite is a great example of this. Their Battle Pass has some really cool costumes for your characters, and they also do well in getting crossover content. Now, if you look at EA, they have a lot of IPs and partnerships they could include in the game. I'm looking at you, Star Wars. Including it in the game will in fact have people start to look at trying the game out because they want to get the cool costume. Now, they do have some cool costumes that are their own ideas, and I will say at least some of it so far looks pretty cool, but crossover content is always king, and again, EA has that potential to do so. And number 5, get the community involved. Now, all competitive games go nowhere without their community. So EA and Final Strike Games need to turn to their community to build the game back up. The social media page is fairly bad. They post every 3 days or so, but it's just about the game. It's like, hey, meet this character, or hey, look at this thing that's in the game. Nothing is trying to interact with the fans or have them sharing their own best moments. They need to step that up. Just take a look at another game that's had a huge popularity, Fall Guys, as an example. Don't try to be exactly like them, but you can take inspiration from them and make it your own on your own page. They also need to hold a community event or tournament, again, getting people talking about the game. Now would be a great time to do so, and they could do it with Twitch and put on a Twitch Rivals event because the game is currently free if you have a Prime Gaming account. Now you can then get some big streamers to play the game, have a blast while doing so, and then you plug in the fact that people can get the game free by going to the Prime Gaming section. Now this gets more eyes on the game, it then offers people a chance to see the game that they maybe haven't seen it before, and they can get a look at how competitive the game actually can be. It's a no-brainer, so they need to do this. So for me, that is the 5 tips I have to saving Rocket Arena. Now let me know if you've played the game and your thoughts on it, as well as answer the question of the video, which is, what game did you feel died out before it really got a chance to take off? Now, I'm not going to use Rocket Arena as an example since that was the inspiration for this video, but I will say for me, it's MAG on the PS3. I talk about it often and still feel that game was so much fun to play, but it just seemed people didn't really take a hold of the game and it never got off like I thought it would. I do feel a revival of that game would work out well now in 2020, as there is better internet in most places, and online games are much more prevalent than they were back at MAG's release in 2010. But for now, that's all we have for this video. Once again, if you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below. Hit that subscribe button and consider hitting the bell to be notified every time that I post. Thank you again for watching the video, and as always, remember gamers, your gaming news starts right here.